There's also a makeshift XP farm if you want to repair stuff, which is like
Oh,
super makeshift. But let me show you. So I built it like it's super basic. So don't expect like tons of XP. But if you AFK there for just a little brief moment, not at all.
I saw you just suddenly drop down. Aha.
Yep.
Woo!
Dang it.
Oh! Oh! And you're a red namer! I did not have my guard up at all. Oh, you so could have had me. Dang.
I didn't look
Oh.
up in time. Okay, so it is here. So just pretty much stay here and slay and slay.
Oh, nice. I don't actually need that right now, so I'll be heading out of here. What other
Yeah,
booby traps
but
could you potentially have?
there no booby traps. Shashwam, no booby traps at all.
Okay.
Come on here.
Dude,
Yeah,
you're gonna do you gotta do that on someone else. That'll totally work if you get the timing right.
yeah, like I was not looking up. I was like, is he coming? Is he coming? And then I was like, boop.
Well, I literally I didn't think about it because you
So
dropped down
close.
before me, so like that's the way you want to do it.
Yeah.
Should I be giving you
exactly.
advice? Like, am I trying to?
Yeah,
Am I?
well, of
Wait.
course.
I want to win. I want to help you get other people, right?
Let's try this again.
No, I almost followed you down. I could barely hear you. You're not gonna get me now. Oh boy, that's right. Corrales almost got me. He's a red namer, and I kind of forgot about that. The game of demise. And right now, only Tango is online, so it should be okay to record this intro, right? I've got two big questions to answer. That's not the way through. This is. The first one is the intro music. It is my own music. If you'd like to go check it out, it's part of a full album. There's a link to the song in the description box down below. And the second big question that I always get at the beginning of a season when new people are tuning in is about the episode number. Here's the dealio. After 10 seasons of Hermitcraft, I've never reset the episode number. It just rolls on from one season to the other, and that's why it's so high. Now, I want to comment on one last thing before I tell you what I've been up to. That over there is a horrendous mess. And if we look around us in all different directions, you'll notice that the view distance is massive. And that's because we're using a mod called Navidium, along with another one called Bobby. But it's created these issues over here where for some reason, the chunks are sort of rendering higher up than they should be. And they might not even be the correct chunks. It's been doing it in this space over here. And sometimes it goes away when I get a little bit closer. So if you see some funkiness off in the distance, that's just some peculiarities with this mod setup. And now for the most part, it seems to have returned to how it should normally look. All right, let's now talk about what I've been up to. When we come over here, you'll see that this area is just full of pumpkins and melons. I have been trading with the villagers this season to get geared off straight off the bat. And it has worked out an absolute treat because now I've got mending on all of my gear. It may not have the best enchantments, but it means that I can easily repair all of this and keep it going. Now this is Doc's makeshift area for trading with the villagers, and he's also made a makeshift iron farm over here. This zombie attracts some of the iron golems into this little space, as well as this poor kitty cat. And then over here there's a spot to come along and pick up your iron, if you can make it in here. Come on, buddy. Let me pass. Let me pass. So this farm is in the spawn chunks, meaning that it's slowly accumulating iron, which has been really helpful because I've been using them to craft pistons. And Corrales and XB have been kind enough to drop off some quartz and redstone. It's been a real hermits helping hermits thing over here. And so I've tried to contribute with an automated farm for pumpkins. And this is pretty much the same design that we had in Season 8. So the hopper minecart below picks up the pumpkins that grow above, and when they do, they'll update the stems, the observers will power the pistons and break the pumpkins. It's all pretty straightforward stuff. This thing could probably be improved with a block border around it, so it stops pumpkins from popping off onto these edges where they don't get picked up. And there's some waterlogged blocks in here, which keeps the farmland nice and hydrated, and it just activated right then. So yeah, it's been a big help. I've been running around here, chopping down the melons and the pumpkins, and slowly they accrue over here too. There are also sugarcane fields out the back here, which I've helped expand, and with that I've been running around continuously trading and taking advantage of all of these books. There's actually more useful ones here, so I'm still going to come back and get some more enchantments and slowly buff up our gear. But with that taken care of, I'm now somewhat set to go out and do whatever it is I want to do this season. And originally, I actually had a plan for some really big projects, but I kind of felt like a change of pace was needed. I've been watching some old episodes of Hermitcraft and just reminded how on the fly some of the things I did was, how I didn't have a big plan for each season, and I kind of wanted to get back to that. So I've gone ahead and scrapped my old plans. Maybe I'll revive them later in the season, but for now, we're just going to do things on the fly. Take it a step at a time. And that involves building a starter base, which we may get to in this episode. But I've definitely picked out a spot for it. It needs a bit of a backdrop that's got some height, and I'm liking this spot over here. And as we get closer, what you'll notice is that I've cleared out some space for building. This area was actually plastered in flowers. There seems to be a lot of them just on this spot. And you can see I've chucked it all into this chest. But the next thing that I want to show you is a very important starter farm that we need. And an issue I currently have is I'm missing an important material I haven't come across yet. But luckily for us, there's a hermit that has this off in the distance this way somewhere. Right, we came from way over there somewhere. It's not even loaded. And our destination is down here. Oh, now this is a very fancy looking build. I love the color palette here. This is so cool. Hello? Pearl?
Hey, Xisuma.
Hi. How's it going?
Pleasure seeing you, eh? Pretty good. How's you?
I am decked out. Look at me.
Oh
Diamond
my
gear.
God, I just realized. I'm so used to seeing everybody in decked out gear that I'm not used to seeing an early game. I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
You're insane.
Straight off.
Oh my
Whoa,
gosh.
you're a different type of insane. Look at this. Whew, straight into the building. No slowing
You
down.
do have a good point, actually. No, this is like the diamond version of,
Yes.
of armor, right?
This is netherite. This looks
I don't know
incredible.
about that. But close enough. Thank you. Don't look
Oh.
at the inside, though. It's not done, you know?
Oh, okay. I won't
Get in
barge
there.
in. I was just inviting myself in there. You
Oh,
got a
you're all
block that
fine.
I'm after. Yeah?
Yes.
And like
yes.
you're using it all around you here.
So you would like one of these blocks? I can easily give you one of these. I don't have many, so I can give you one to get started.
Yes.
And you can grow
Thank
it
you,
with the
thank
bone
you.
meal.
Exactly. You can grow it with bone meal. So I got a gift for you.
Yes.
Because I know this stuff's valuable.
Ooh.
right.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
You know,
This
you
is
gave me one,
brilliant.
now you can grow an insane amount and other stuff too, of course.
I'm so glad you've got them because I was worried. Like I want to make sure you can grow your moss, so I'm glad you've got a source for it.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes, I was
Thank
literally
you, I
over there like,
appreciate it.
right, I've got the bones. Oh no, I don't have a single moss block and I haven't found that biome. Did you have to go
Yeah.
far?
Well, I was going to the mesa and I found a tree on the way and dug all the way down
Oh,
to get to the lush
yeah.
cave. So I was like, oh yeah, I need that block.
Yeah, that's a really good way
So
to
gonna
find them,
put-
actually. That's some good
Yeah.
game design right there, I think.
Super easy. Just look for the azalea. I almost said acacia. I'm always saying a
Azalea.
cha-cha because that's what Tango's saying lately with the acacia.
Oh, a
But yeah,
cha-cha is the
easy
correct
enough.
pronunciation. And I always
Is it?
said, yeah, it's definitely a cha-cha. Just look at how it's spelled.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought it was
100%.
acacia.
No.
Where are the H?
No.
Okay, I must say a cha-cha from now on then, right? I gotta get
You
the
must
pronunciation
join
right.
the club. Join the club.
Okay,
Pearl.
good old cha-cha. Well, I got plenty of the cha-cha on the base here.
Oh. Do you think I could still... Have you got, like, spare saplings as well? Would you
Of a
mind if I
cha-cha?
pinch? Yeah, I was just thinking, like...
Yes,
Oh, if I'm going to use that block, I need saplings and...
I have all of the wood types.
Oh, this is not up to standards.
I told you not to walk inside. I'm being outed right now.
Oh.
There you go. Don't look at the chest either, mate.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna like them.
The cleaning lady
Even
isn't
though I'm-
organised yet.
Not yet. I've really just moved my chest from outside to inside, and I just chucked it all in there for now.
Got
So
ya. Got ya.
it'll be organized.
Awesome. Well, this moss block is going to be useful to me, so thank you so much. And I don't
Beautiful.
have a
Thank
base.
you for the bones.
I have nothing like this, but when I've got something built, I'll definitely invite you down to have a look. And
Simi, your base is on you. You are a turtle. You're wearing it right now.
I'm wearing my base. I am diamonds. All right. Thanks, Pearl.
I'm looking forward to it. Don't worry. See you later,
Awesome.
Zuma.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So with this single moss block, we can, of course, make more moss blocks. And while I'm here, I think I'm going to pinch a few other things as well. Like with the achacha saplings. Look at that. It clearly says achacha. At this stage in the game, there's just all these little things that you have to go around the world and gather. And I'm pretty sure I've got some of these already, but just in case. So yeah, I'm going to have to go on a bit of a mission at some point, just going to all the different biomes, collecting all the saplings. Probably going to do that stuff in my live streams. And I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to it. It's been a long time since I've been in a fresh new Minecraft world again. Anyways, we're back at our spot, and now we can start to ruin this terrain by getting ourselves a bunch of moss and creating a mess. So the thing that I needed was just moss. One moss carpet. Anyway, let's head down here. I'll show you what I've been up to. So going past some dramatic caves, I have a path through a whole bunch of cave systems. And it takes like less than 30 seconds to reach our destination, which was originally on the left-hand side here where these tough blocks are. As you are about to see, yep, you could have guessed it, I found a skeleton spawner. Right, and the concept is pretty basic here. We've got the traditional shape. There's some water in the corner. It all flows down to this level and into a gap that the skeletons would go into if they weren't shooting at me. And I did this all on the fly, so it's a bit clunky. When we come down here, there is like a gap that I can stand in and swipe, but you can't see too much of what's going on. And if I stand on top of this chest here, then they aim at me, but they don't ever shoot. I was a little bit suspicious of that, so I figured if we could raise the height up by putting a carpet block on top of it, then they're probably not going to be able to hit me. And we've got a nice gap to swing the sword through, and of course, I can use my AFK clicker and get some bones, which is why I gifted some to Pearl, since I had earned a few stacks. And this is also how I got myself a really good bow. And that's the first shot I've actually taken. Wow. Okay, yeah, this thing's got punch 1, power 3, I'm breaking 2. Yeah, and this is always such a vital farm early game because, you know, bone meal is so useful. But this time, we're going to go a little bit crazy with it. And that's because of something special we can craft this season, but I don't have the materials right now. So before we go craft that, you'll see that there's this other passageway back here. This goes to other skeleton spawners. I couldn't believe my luck when I was exploring, but there is like one here that's part of a mine shaft, and then if you go this way, down a little bit, and across, you guessed it, there's another one. Aha, yes, another skeleton spawner. But here's the bad news. Can't activate them both at the same time, right? Well, that's because I did a pretty lame test, right? I just sort of stood here, and I found that there was a dead spot between the two where they didn't activate at the same time. But then I was reminded that their activation area is a square shape. So I can also go like across to the side too. And when I stand on this spot here, that's when we activate this one and the one over here too. So my plans have changed. It is possible. We're going to make a double skelly farm. And the reason that I'm joyed about this is because it's a big part of our plans. This involves a block that I'm sure you're excited to see. Okay, can I see it over here? Yep, there it is. The crafter. Say what? It ain't 1.21 yet. What's going on here? Legit, we have the crafter. A way to automate the crafting of bones into bone meal and then passing it on to other farms. A double skeleton spawner is going to be a powerhouse for automation. And along with that, I've got a stack of tuff here. And look, I can make polished tuff. I think I have to make that to make the other blocks, right? My memory is a little rusty. There you go. Now we can make tough bricks. And then we can make the chiseled tough bricks. This is actually going to be like part of the palette for the builds that I want to put here. So I've got to gather loads of tough blocks from down below. So you're probably thinking that we're playing with the 1.21 experiments enabled, but actually we're not. This is off. We actually have a data pack enabled that only enables the crafting of these blocks. So it includes the copper ones as well. And there are no trial chambers spawning in the world. We're actually waiting for 1.21 for that stuff. But since the copper blocks, the tough blocks, and the crafter mostly seem somewhat finished, we're going to roll with it. All right, let's jump ahead in time and talk about the early game grind. I'm currently just mining out this space that leads me down to the cave system down below because I need cobble. And it feels like I could be helping another hermit who's building underground. Or if I knew my plans further into the season, you know, I'd be digging out a space that I actually need. But right now, I just need cobble. And that's because it's going to be a part of our build palette along with the other block that I showed you a moment ago. Yes, that's right. I am talking about the tough block, and there is plenty of this stuff to be found at the deep slate level. I do wish I had a beacon though, so I could instant mine this. That would save me a fair bit of time. But that's just how it goes at the moment. We don't have all the luxuries of Season 9 that we're used to. And I kind of want to roll with that a little bit more and try and learn a bit more about the early game. And I've got a reasonable tip to share with you, but before I show you it, you're going to be distracted by what's up the top here. All of those tough blocks and all of that cobble has been smelted into stone, turned into stone bricks, and then smelted again into cracked stone bricks to help create the foundation of what will be a rather large base. So yeah, I've been down there in the caves gathering a ton of this stuff and smelting up every little bit of cobble in my furnaces over here, and that's related to the tip that I wanted to share with you. So when 1.21 was introduced on Hermitcraft, we were already deep into the season, and so I didn't really discover this useful way to use bamboo as fuel. Now, we all know this is a great early game source of fuel, but this tip is about how we choose to use it. Oh, and this stuff absolutely tears through a sword, which is why I'm using temporary stone swords. It's like 4 durability a hit. So here's the tip. Turn this stuff into bamboo blocks. Of course, in the past, we didn't have this, but as a fuel source, it'll now do a full stack. So I can chuck my cobble into there and reliably smelt through all of it. Let's compare that to a stack of bamboo. You'll see that the number of this stuff just goes down so quick, that's not going to do the whole stack. So, you know, you don't have to worry about hooking up hoppers full of bamboo to it. You can just throw in a whole stack and it will do a much better job. So now you understand how I've been gathering these materials and processing them. Let's actually go outside and see this thing from out there. Although the view isn't too great when you're down here on the ground, you can't see the full scale of things. We're going to wander around the edge while I explain some of the design decisions. But first of all, the inspiration for this build was to use the tough block. And then I wanted to find a structure that I could emulate. And I went for Aztec temples. However, I didn't want to rigidly stick to the way they appear and kind of like bring in my own ideas to that, which you will see as we progress this build. Now, there are other things that go into this as well, like considering we put more of these blocks down at the foundation level, and you're also going to see more cracked blocks near the bottom as well, and then more mossy ones higher up. I think little details like this go a long way if there's rhyme and reason behind the so-called randomization of blocks. As we go over here to where this waterfall meets the building, you'll notice that there's just a ton more moss, and that naturally makes sense when you look at it. We're going to have to do something similar with the landscaping around here. It won't just be grass blocks. We're going to introduce leaf blocks, moss blocks, and other things, and bring lots of decor and detail around this building too. And this is just the foundation. So this is like the first level. This thing is going to get bigger and higher and really rise up into the sky. If we use the detach cam, you can kind of see there's a little bit of a floor plan here because the tough blocks is like the outside area that you can walk on. And again, the reason that I picked this location is because of that mountain behind it. When this thing rises up into the sky, I kind of feel like you need to see more behind it to give you that sense of scale rather than just an empty blue sky. Now, this is a really big project, and you're probably used to seeing hermits bang out massive builds, but like I've said, I kind of want to focus on just being a little more casual and having fun with everything I'm doing. So I decided that I would build this much, as then it serves for a great footprint to dig out the space down here below. And I have no exact plans for what I'm going to put here, but it's just going to be a big empty space for me to decorate and build starter farms and just have all of that sitting underneath this giant temple. And look at this. There is certainly a lot of space to do that, including vertical space too, because there's going to be more rooms above us. But I've been looking over here at this space and it feels like it's a perfect opportunity to have a nether portal. And I must admit, I'm a little bit concerned about going into the nether in general, mainly because of the game of demise, but also those red namers, they could booby trap the nether portal. So I got a golden apple from where we found those skeleton spawners earlier. I'm going to have that on hand because this could, in theory, go horribly wrong. But no one's thought of doing that yet. It looks like there's a tiny bit of nether infrastructure coming together. There's a few portals off in the distance and paths emerging. This is good though. I need to gather lots of basalt. And I don't have any gold armor, do I? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is the real problem with the nether. Well, I can sort this problem out for now, and I'll be venturing back there to get the basalt, but there are other materials that I need as well. Mud is going to be a part of the build palette, and I got to go around gathering certain saplings, animals, plants from around the world. It's time for another grind. And I'll probably be doing these on my live streams, so make sure to follow me on Twitch if you want to catch some Hermitcraft live streams. If the time zones don't suit you, on my second channel, all of the VODs get uploaded. And look at this. Over there in the distance, our neighbor Rendog has got something going. It is going to be exciting to see all these different Hermits builds pop up in the area around us. But we will have to wait and see, because that's all I'm doing for this episode of Hermitcraft. We're getting off to a really great start this season. I hope you're enjoying it, and if you are, leave a like on the video. Thanks as always for the support, and I'll see you soon with another one. Bye-bye.